Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, boys. Yesterday, your diary was guess and write the dictionary meaning of given words. That was exercise of vocabulary on page 16, along with sentence making of given model verbs. So, today we are going to start our class with the check that if you have done it correctly. That exercise given on page number 16 is guess the meaning. Now, I hope that you have written your guess that what the word means. Let's check that what the dictionary meanings of these words are. Your first word is conservation. Meaning of conservation is preservation or protection. Number 2 is instance. Instance means example or illustration. Number 3 word is fidelity. Fidelity means devotion or loyalty. Number 4 is shield. Shield means protection or defense. Word number 5 is reward, and reward meaning award or prize. I hope that you have find out the correct meanings of all these words. After that comes the exercise on the same page, that is make as many words as you can from these root words. This exercise is not part of your syllabus, and then the next exercise is use the following words in sentences. The sentence making also is not part of your syllabus. So boys, today we are going to, this is what you were given yesterday, and along with that you were also given sentence making. So I hope that you all have used or made the words properly, sentences properly using the given model verbs. That is all your own choice. You were asked to make sentences of your own choice, of your own abilities, of asking permission from the teacher, from asking something from your friend, in sentences like these. I hope that you have done all those exercises on your sheets also. Today we are going to start our class with grammar. That is grammar exercise of unit 2. Now first close your books and listen attentively. We are going to study something very interesting about the sentences. First of all, you must know that what a sentence is. So what do you think what a sentence is? A group of words or a meaningful group of words that makes complete sense is called a sentence. If we say or use words not in an arranged form, they are not called a sentence because they are not conveying us the exact meaning or the complete meaning. For example, if I say boy up is standing, these are just words. But if I say the boy is standing up, it has a complete sense. So when a group of words has a complete sense, then it is called a sentence. There are four kinds of sentence. What are those four kinds? Assertive or declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, and exclamatory sentence. Now in this list, first comes assertive or declarative sentences. What are assertive sentences? They are sentences which make statements. These statements may be affirmative or negative. Such sentences, which are just statements, affirmative or negative, are called assertive or declarative sentences. For example, we take the sentences of that we use in our routine. For example, what you people are doing these days? We are taking online classes. See, this sentence is beginning with a subject and it ends with a full stop or a dot. Such a sentence that begins with a subject and ends with a full stop is called an assertive sentence, as it just gives us an information. This information can be affirmative or this can be negative also. The second example is students are taking great interest in video lessons. And I hope so that really students are taking interest in their video lessons. This is also an example of an affirmative assertive sentence. Then there is a sentence, students are not sending their homework in routine. And this is happening, boys. You are not sending your routine work. So this is a negative sentence. So assertive sentences are statements either affirmative or negative. You can very easily understand it that we have done all the tenses from present indefinite or from simple use of is, am, are to future perfect continuous. All the 12 tenses and independent use of helping verbs and modal verbs. In all these sentences, the affirmatives and the negatives are comes under the heading of assertive sentences. The next kind is interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences are sentences which ask questions. For example, if I say that, are you getting my point? This is an interrogative sentence. I am asking something from you, that are you getting my point? See, this sentence is beginning with a helping verb, that is are, and it ends with a question mark, that is mark of interrogation. Similarly, all the question are not just all the question not just begin with a helping verb, they also begin with a question word. Like our second example is, why are you late? In this sentence, why is a question word and are is a helping verb, and at the end we have a question mark. So again, this is an example of interrogative sentence that is beginning with a question word. Next comes imperative sentence. What is an imperative sentence? Imperative sentence, you are very much familiar with the imperative sentences. Before looking at the definition and the example of this sentence, I want to tell you that what happens when your teacher enters in the class. Either the teacher greets you or you greet the teacher, and then what happens? She asks you to open your books, to take your seats, to start your work, to start writing, all these things. Have you ever noticed that she never uses the word like sentence, makes the sentence like this, that you all open your books, you all do not make a noise, you all. It means that imperative sentences are a kind of sentence that we use or that we make use of to communicate with the person who is in front of us, and the person who is in front of us is second person. We are the first person who are talking, and the one who is listening to us is the second person. So there is no need to repeat the sentence or repeat the pronoun you again and again. So imperative sentences are sentences which express command, request, advice, or suggestion. For example, as I told you, the scene of a classroom, that your teacher enters in the class and she says that, open your books. In this sentence, open is an imperative verb and the sentence ends with a full stop. Then she also says to you, don't waste your time. Again, don't waste is an imperative verb. So the identification of imperative sentences, it begins with an imperative verb, and imperative verb is always in the first form of verb and it ends with a full stop. There are a lot many examples that are around you of imperative sentences. Then comes our fourth kind of sentence, that is exclamatory sentence. These are very interesting. How these are very interesting? Because they are the expression of our sudden strong feelings. Sometimes we are very much excited, sometimes we are shocked at once. The words that we utter at that time, such words come under the heading of, and the statements that we make at that time, they come under the heading of exclamatory sentences. So exclamatory sentences are sentences which express our strong feelings. Such sentences are called exclamatory sentences. For example, you are playing a game and you have achieved your target, or made some new record in that game, how would you express it? You would say, Hurrah, I have did it. In this sentence, hurrah is an exclamatory word, and after that you are saying a mark of exclamation. Then you use mark of exclamation and the sentence ends with a full stop. Then there is another way. Whenever the teacher who is, you can say, strict, or for whom you are always ready to do your work, if you hear that their teacher is absent, how you express your excitement? Yay, the teacher is absent, or wow, the teacher is absent. These words, wow, hurrah, yay, these words have no meaning, but whenever they are uttered, they convey the half message to the listener that something good or something bad had happened that is going to be announced after that. Similarly, there is another kind of exclamatory sentences, that is, how difficult the paper is. You are given paper, and after paper you are discussing your paper with your friends, and how do you discuss how easy the paper is or paper was, and how difficult the paper is or the paper was. So this also shows your strong expression. This does not mean that it is a kind of question that is beginning with how. Here, how is used as an adverb that is modifying the adjective difficult, that the paper, it is conveying the message that the paper is or the paper was very difficult. If you say that how hot the day is, it means that the day was very hot or it was very hot day. Then there is another way, another example. Oh, I have hurt my finger. Whenever you fell down or you get hurt with something, what happens? At once, you express your sudden pain, and that pain is expressed through oh or ouch. I have hurt my finger. After that, you announce that why this utterance is made oh or ouch. It is the result of the sudden pain that you have received, and you say, after that, you say that oh, I have hurt my finger. These are the four main kinds of sentences. I hope that you have understood all these. Now open your books at page number 19. This is the exercise related to these kinds of sentences. Now this exercise on page number 19 is exercise B, that is, identify the kinds of the following sentences. And you are listed or given the sentences here, that is exclamatory, assertive, interrogative, negative, and imperative. Now I hope that you will be able to do if you have understood the lesson or the lecture. I hope that you can do it yourself. Our first sentence is, art is another subject in which I am particularly interested. I am not going to tell you that what kind of sentence it is. I'm just going to read the sentence and you have to find it yourself, that what kind of sentence is it. We have read four different kinds. I've explained you and made you recognize that what kind of sentence begins with what words and how it ends. So you have to write it yourself, that what kind of sentence it is. First is, art is another subject in which I am particularly interested. Sentence number 2 is, what a beautiful painting. Sentence number 3 is, teach him to learn. Sentence number 4 is, how would I know? And number 5 is, she did not make a false statement. These are the 5 sentences. Right in front of all these sentences that what kind of sentences these are. Then your next exercise on the same page is, that is page number 19. Punctuate the following. See, I have crossed this exercise here. Reason 1 is, as I have told you earlier, that I have an old edition of the book. If you have a new edition, maybe this alphabetical order, that is A, B, C, maybe it is changed in your book. If not, surely the punctuation exercise that is given here is changed. Mine is an old book. In your new book, it is passage number 2 from the passage that is given for punctuation. But remember one thing, boys, this is just an exercise. In board exams, you are not given the exercises, the paper or the questions exactly from two or three exercises that are given here at the end. You can be given can be given punctuation from the full unit, from anywhere, a simple sentence, any sentence from any unit. So you have to prepare or read your lesson very carefully to understand or to know the use of the punctuation. So this exercise is not included in a way because the whole lesson you have to prepare for the punctuation. So this is all for today. And your diary is first to write down the kinds of sentences or complete the exercise B that is given on page number 19. And secondly, write at least 5 examples of each kind of sentence. I hope that you are clear about the class that we have read today, kinds of sentences, and you are also clear about the diary. I repeat this diary once again, that first you have to write the kind of sentence in front of the sentence that is exercise B given on page number 19, and secondly you have to write at least 5 examples of each kind of sentence on your sheets. Here ends our class. So Allah Hafiz.